Welcome to Women in the Arena podcast, the podcast celebrating women doing extraordinary things in plain sight. I'm your host, Audra Egan, and our mission is to elevate the value, strength, and resilience each woman brings to the world. Without further delay, let's go ahead and start the show. Welcome in, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Audra, your host of Women in the Arena podcast, where we celebrate women doing extraordinary things in plain sight. It's November, and the holidays are upon us. And since 2020 has been a ride, and small businesses have been hit the hardest, we thought for the month of November that we wanted to do something proactive to help these small businesses. So each week, we are going to highlight a female small business. I hope you enjoy the interviews, and even more so, I hope you go in and check out their websites. They have some amazing things, and every dollar you spend with them is going to go directly back into their business. I am so excited for you all to meet all of these amazing women, and I can't wait to get started, so let's start the show. Welcome in, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me today. Here we are again in November, and we are promoting our female entrepreneurs. I am joined by yet another incredible, dynamic woman that I can't wait for you to meet. I am joined by Meagan Ayres, and she is the founder of The Modern Day Wife. I need to tell you about her because she's remarkable. She has experience in retail buying, merchandising, event planning, marketing, social media, sales, PR, and that's just in her corporate job. When she decided that all of that wasn't for her, she went out on her own and she founded Project U. And then after she sold that, she went and started another company, which is Modern Day Wife. And she is wonderful, and she's here with us today. And Meagan, thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. What a beautiful intro. I'm like, wow, that's so awesome. I'm so excited. We're going to have so much fun in this conversation. So I can't wait to get to it. And hopefully bring some value to your audience. And I hope they love our chat tonight.
I know that they will, because Meagan has such an amazing energy, which is why I wanted to introduce you all to her. She's creative, she's intelligent, and her entire organization is created to help uplift women in wherever they're at, meet them where they're at, and help them improve and grow. Before we jump into all of that, however, Meagan, please let us know a little bit more about you so we can just get to know you.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm Canadian, so that's, I guess, kind of a fun fact if your viewers are mostly in America, but I do love the United States. I lived there for the past 6 months, actually. Recently, I just came back to Canada. I was living in Florida. I'm definitely like kind of what my bio says it all. I am a events junkie. I love the event world. I love entertaining and putting on great experiences for people. This really lights my fire, and it's totally my purpose and passion. I find it's amazing to bring people together, put them on a spotlight, and just let them shine. And I feel like being a connector is one thing I've always loved to do, even since I was a little girl. My mom would say everyone would call me social butterfly. I was always that person having like the Halloween parties and wanting to have all the girlfriends over and play dress up and you name it. So I guess from a young age, I've always really been into inspiring other people or bringing people together.
Well, you parlayed that natural ability into a business, not just one, but two. And your business, Modern Day Wife, is built to help support the modern day woman and all of the roles that she plays. So tell us a little bit about what Modern Day Wife is.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for myself, I kind of was at this stage in my life. I was getting into my late 20s, and I really loved the woman empowerment side of things. Obviously, I had a community called Project, the word project in YOU. So it was all about, building confidence and building women up. But then I kind of realized on the flip side, well, what about all of the other roles that women do really well sometimes and naturally just, because we do juggle all of these things and don't always talk about it, like your relationship, your career, your home, all these things that we just have going on. And I was like, wow, no one's really putting on a space that is for, women to just excel and learn from one another. And how are we juggling all of these things? Because in this modern world, usually in a household, both people are working now, there's children in the mix, it's a lot different than how it was, in the 50s or the 60s. And I really thought that this is a cool avenue for a business because it allowed me to not only do events, but do a lifestyle blog and bring in merchandise and other elements of education that I just wasn't able to do with my previous brand, as well as I really wanted to be able to host co-ed events. As something that I could offer to my community because I felt like that dynamic was also interesting. So that's really how it started.
So it was filling a need of the many aspects of our lives because we wear many different hats in our lives, different roles, mother, wife, friend, sister, what have you. And so you created this organization that helped basically merge all of those together. So tell us what one of your events looks like.
Yeah, absolutely. And you totally got it spot on. Like, that's what we're about. We're like really getting with the realness of it because it's not all perfect. Like, we all know that we have those days, as we were talking before, where you're like, oh my God, I completely forgot about that. Or, oh my God, how am I getting there? Or how is the husband getting there? Or how are the kids getting there? Like, what's going on?
Oh,
So,
as I admitted to you, there are days that I blow it big time, and it's not. I can't even fake it. I'm like, yeah, I completely blew that one up.
oh, totally. You were like, oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. Or, you forget something and then you're crying and you think the world is over, but then the show must go on. So, to kind of bring it back to your question, our events are about giving that busy person, this busy woman, this modern day woman, really quick tools and tips that she can take to take action in her life and excel in a specific area. So originally, of course, we were doing in-person events. Now we're doing online. But for an in-person event, to kind of create what that would be like, is I always focus on like fun details and ambiance. So for example, I hosted this beautiful launch party. It actually was co-ed, which was really fun. So in the beginning, I find fun, cool, creative things, like we had someone playing a grand piano and there was appetizers and a chocolate fountain and beautiful setting for people to take photos, like a photographer there taking black and white photos, just really setting the mood for fun with vendors and excitement to get people comfortable. And then I always do education. So there was a panel talk for this specific event. So that's really what an in-person event looks like. We can talk about the digital world if you want me to explore that.
Yeah, let's definitely talk about that because unfortunately, thanks, Rona, in person is not possible.
No.
But you've been able to shift from in person to online, which is not an easy shift to do because when all of this lockdown came about, you could have said, well, there goes that. What am I going to do now? You thought, no, new challenge. Let's shift to online. And I've been able to attend one of your online events, and it was really good. So will you tell us a little bit about what your online event looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. So you've totally hit that spot on. It is a bit like, okay, what are we going to do during this time? Do we do nothing? What happens? So we decided, yeah, let's try out this online event experience. So I think the initial starting point for me was I thought, well, let's make it a talk show. It should be almost like someone is at a talk show because that is entertaining. People sit in front of their TV to watch a talk show all the time and they stay there glued to their screen. So that was pretty much what I was mimicking when designing the event with the other ladies involved. And, we just went for that short segments with incredible speakers, incredible sponsors, people sharing their stories, providing, how to's, how to get your finances together, how to set up your social media, how to market yourself, simple tips. Because sometimes when someone's talking for an hour at an event or this long presentation, how many times do you drop out or like miss a whole entire section because you didn't have enough reality with what the speaker was saying? So in our online events, when they're so short like that, you really get that key data and you can apply it. And so that's one thing that I think has made our event so successful, and our audience wants to come back because it's fun. They learn something, they get results, but they're having fun.
It's a really good time because what Meagan has done is, and like I said, we're going to talk about what an upcoming event is coming here very soon, here in December. We will talk about that for sure. But what she's done is she's really encompassed the entire life. So the first one that I attended was, instead of a cocktail hour, she had someone teach us how to make really cool cocktails. And then in the middle of the speakers, she puts a makeup artist in the middle on how to do your makeup really quickly and get out the door. And in like a real life thing, like for women, like real women like me, that I haven't any clue on really how to put on makeup because I don't wear it all that often. And I'm not my daughter who pores over YouTube videos and watches it. So it was really fantastic to have a makeup artist teaching us how to put on makeup, like for women like me. And it's really fun and fascinating to watch this. And it's really fast paced. So you're never, ever like zoning out or bored. And what I'm super impressed with, and I want you to talk a little bit more about this, is the caliber of speakers you have. So will you tell us a little bit about the past speakers that you've had just in the last 2 months?
Yes, absolutely. Like, yeah, definitely. I can share with you. I'm like, I get so excited when it comes to the speakers. So, always from day one, I think finding cool, unique speakers is great for an event, and speakers that flow well together. I've always kind of looked at like, okay, how can this individual mesh with this individual, and will their energy sync up, or what is the vibe of that? So when we're planning a panel, that's really the ground for it. So we had in our September event Rebecca Minkoff. So
That was so awesome,
right?
by the way.
Yeah, like was I'm like a dream, seriously, hearing from her. And she was incredible, so engaging, interested in everyone. That it was just so nice to have her there with us. And along with her, we had three other incredible women. We had Andrea Mundy, who is the founder of SCOA, which in Canada is a very well-known skincare facial clinic that you can go into. They have like their own line of products. They do incredible services. So it was great for the Vancouver community, so Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, to hear her speak. Then we had Daphne Waynes, who has been an actress and done various things in Hollywood, and she's a mom and had a great story. And then we also had Sangeeta Patel, and she is a HGTV host here in ET Canada. So very well known up here in Canada. So that was September. I mean, this past event as well, just we totally up the vibe, had equally as amazing speakers. So I could definitely rhyme off these ladies as well, if you'd like me to share.
Tell us about October, because
Yes.
I mean, you top yourself. I mean, I thought September was awesome. October was even more amazing. So tell us about October.
Yeah. So for October, so to kind of give them some understanding, this is like a 3-part event series that we're doing called Think Outside the Box. So there's a September event, October, and then December, which we're going to tell you about. But for October, the theme of the event was called Raise the Bar Higher. So we really wanted to help everyone level up their lifestyle in learning from incredible women in short 20-minute segments. I don't know how we pulled this off, but we figured out a way to get Erica Christensen there as one of our keynotes. She's amazing. She's been in Swim Fan and Traffic. I loved her. The good news is she'll be back in December. We confirmed that. She loved it so much. She's coming back for more for our events to be a speaker.
That's amazing. I mean, if anybody doesn't connect the dots of who she is, she was in Parenthood.
Yes, exactly.
She's an amazing actress.
Yes. People like, yeah, some people are like, oh my God, I just watched, like, you was watching Back Parenthood or whatever. It's so funny. So people were like, oh my God, excited to see her. And she's super real and very chill. Like, when you see this October event, when you watch it back, you'll understand what I'm saying. Like, she's just totally there, owning it. It's awesome. And then we wanted to throw in like a fun duo. So we had Nicole Arbor, who's a big time comedian. She has a star on the Hollywood Walk of like Fame there for her social media. And then Danelle Delgado, who is like a mega entrepreneur, and she's been in Forbes twice. So her and Nicole teamed up and did a whole segment on social media for us.
Oh my gosh. So you had two powerhouses giving basically detailed information on how to build up your social media and how to market yourself.
Exactly. It's honestly the best 30 minutes of content I've watched in a very long time. Worth far more than any ticket price that we charge. It's complete fire, the tools that they share. It's so good.
Oh my gosh. So if you guys haven't gleaned from this, like I said, Meagan is just jam packing these 3 hours. They are swift. They are very swift, but it's full of tools and information that you can put in immediately. And they're really exciting. And here's the greatest part. If you miss them, she records them so you can watch them back. So you don't miss any content at all. But now we're getting to the fun part. We're going to talk about the new event that's coming up in December. And I'm really excited for this one because it's a Sunday brunch and it's so creative, and I'm super excited to attend. So Meagan, tell us a little bit about the December 6th event, the Get in the Know.
Yeah. Well, obviously it's holiday season, so we wanted to do something a little creative to be festive, but also bring, the power, bring the content and the information that everyone loves coming to our events for. So this event is called Get in the Know, and it's all about really helping women get ready for 2021 and couples. We're actually going to do a fun couples segment during this event and have power couples speak. So it is a Sunday, like you said. We've mentioned we have a pre-show. So we always do a pre-show for our events. It opens up the event 30 minutes before. And with this one, we want everyone to come in their PJs, come learn how to make mimosas or the best stacked pancakes for the holiday season. So we'll actually have a brand sponsoring this section, talking about how to do this. You can watch and learn. It will be awesome. Enjoy your coffee. And then we'll move into our event where we're going to have different, theme segments throughout. So some of them being, how to set your goals for 2021 or how to do a business launch in 2021. Like, what should you be doing? How do you get it off the ground? We also are going to talk about keeping a positive mindset during the holidays or how to be the producer of your own life. So things that really inspire you to in the crazy season, be ready to just constantly be getting in the know. How can I do things better? How do I know what's going on? So that's like the speaker portion of it. So, and then I can obviously tell you about the marketplace, but if there's anything you want to add there.
No. I'm really excited about this marketplace that you've created because we are dedicating, as you know, November and the beginning of December, all to promoting female small businesses. And we want to make sure that we help those online purveyors, female owned, and make sure that if you're going to have spending dollars for the holidays, you might as well spend them with a small business rather than sending it to a big box store. So Meagan is taking it one step further, and she's created an entire marketplace for this.
Yes. So, like you just said, I love that. It is really about, helping these businesses thrive and stay in business during what's going on. I mean, the reality of the situation is we need to support these brands to make it through this time. And buy these unique gifts and purchase something that goes into someone's livelihood. Really, it creates the full circle when we do that. So I've always been really big about helping small businesses, get a platform and have a voice. And I think that that's the buyer background in me coming out, because finding unique brands when they're just starting and helping them grow, I love that. So our event is going to showcase a marketplace. So it's kind of going to act like a digital mall. So for 72 hours, we're going to be highlighting all of these small businesses. We're actually going to have a section that's just for Etsy vendors as well, where people can come and do their Christmas shopping. These brands are going to offer special discounts, fun things going on. And then some of them, depending on, what they decide they want to do with us, how they want to work with us, will actually have a little mini segment during the live event where you can hear more about their product, which I just think is so cool because I love watching those segments myself personally. So really, we're just bringing all of the best vendors into one place so you can come and do your Christmas shopping and feel good about your purchases and where your money is going.
The Christmas shopping is changing.
Yes.
And it has been changing over the last couple of years, but especially this year. We're not going to holiday shop the same way that we normally do. So as Meagan said, why not support these small businesses so they can be around for next Christmas and beyond? Because every dollar that you spend with them affects their family, and it goes right back into the communities in which they live.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it does, right? I mean, I love that about when you purchase small. It's so beautiful. They can employ people that live in your community. That could be someone's that their child or whatever it is, right? There's always an exchange. And I think that if we can contribute to that, then we're doing the right thing.
Yeah, that is what we have been doing here at the podcast, is to make sure that we champion that cause and make sure that we make sure that these small businesses are here today and tomorrow, and maybe even for their children to take over. Who knows?
Yes.
This is demonstrating what an amazing community you have built. But what is your vision for how you'd like it to see growing in the future?
Ooh, a juicy question.
Yeah. I try to get some juicy ones out here.
I mean, yeah, well, the coolest thing is I think it's already doing this, and it's kind of on its way to growing. I mean, earlier this year it was just me. Now I have a co-founder. Funny enough, her name is Meagan, which is absolutely hilarious. And we both end up having like the same hair color. It's very funny and comical because people get so confused. But I mean, that in itself was such a win for me, finding the right person to partner up with in my business. Because yeah, in the past I've partnered with, maybe at the time someone that I thought we would work really well together, and then things just didn't work out. So for me, going into this new brand, Modern Day Wife, I knew whoever I was going to work with to take this to the next level had to be 100% on purpose and 100% on the same page as me. And so I just love that I found Meagan. So I want to give her a little shout out because, working with her has been able to create this vision that I saw for myself, but that she wants too. So I know we both really want to expand globally. That's having events in all different cities, have people running different chapters, these online events all over the world. Right now, we're building the model for it so it can be duplicated. And then other things, of course, we want to have a membership. We want to do our own podcast. We want to have merchandise. We really just want to be this hub where women can come and be like waking up in the morning and, yeah, I want to check what Modern Day Wife is doing because I want to be inspired, or, oh, I know that they'll have the information to teach me how to do blah. And I can go and watch, this episode and feel good about myself today if I'm having a bad day. Or, I want to find the next place to host my next event. I know I can go to Modern Day Wife's page and look at, the venues that they offer as referrals, or, different stuff like that. Just helping women and couples, whatever it may be like, I can get this information that I need here to do things smarter and faster and more efficiently.
So you just want to be able to provide value and guidance to
Yes.
helping us all live our our regular, super fast paced, sometimes confusing, sometimes difficult, but sometimes wonderful lives.
Exactly. I mean, there has to be something for this because it's like a modern world out there. Things move so quickly. There's still only so many hours in a day. So there has to be resources or more efficient ways of getting things done and learning from the right people and being able to quickly get connections that make life easier and more fun. What is the point of doing life if you're not having fun and not connected to good people and not feeling inspired or that you're making a difference? So this really why this community exists is to be that for people because I think yeah, sometimes when it's hard, like, right, where do you go to find people that are good people?
It's in this big world, you think that it would be easy, but because we're all moving so fast, it becomes a little bit more complicated. But you're putting together a community where you can find other people just like you.
Absolutely. And I mean, Megan, my co founder, is a new mom. I personally don't have kids yet. I'm not at that phase. Eventually, I'm sure I will. But I know for her, that's been like, wow, okay, this is a change. And so I know one thing for sure we want to do is have a program for moms giving real advice and just sharing what it's like to be a new mom. So I think that's a really cool project that we'll do at some point and build a community like an offshoot just for that because I know I see it for myself. I think some things are like taboo, like people don't talk about, all of the secret things. It's like a secret world, mom world, right? Until you like are having a bad day and then you tell someone, they're like, "Oh, that happened to me too." This is what I just hear from Megan. But I think if there's moms listening, it seems like, sometimes not everyone's sharing the good and the bad of that role. So I know we really want to honor that and just be there for those people that are experiencing maybe a low and oh, what can you do or what do you do for that and how does it make it better? So I'm really excited for creating on that as well.
Well, I know that your company is still relatively young, but it's been impactful even in its short lifespan now. Have you gotten any feedback from some of your attendees or guests or what have you that have really hit you and went, "My goodness, this is exactly what I'm supposed to do"?
Yeah. I I mean, every event we always look for those testimonials or look for that feedback. The best one I got right after actually this last event was on Tuesday. I mean, I get a ton of like good things that make me excited and inspired. That's why I love doing the events actually, because those things, like you just said, are what keeps me going and thriving is that difference made. A lady, I shouldn't say she's a girl, a lady messaged me and she was like, wow, if I didn't attend your event, I would have never reached out to so-and-so and asked them to collaborate. I just messaged them to collaborate. And they said, yeah, 100%, we'd love to work with you. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So, I mean, that's incredible for someone to be sitting behind their computer, not taking action, to all of a sudden being like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make that connection. I want to do that collaboration. I want to work with that person. And then they make it happen. Wow. And then what's going to happen from that? That's the coolest thing is literally seeing brands and people connect that then creates a ripple effect that adds to the economy, that adds to people flourishing and being happier. Because after every event, there will be brands that work together or different speakers or people connecting. It's so cool. It's so exciting. I love it.
It is really fun to be a part of this community, and I will attest that Megan is exactly who it seems to be, as you hear on the recording, because believe it or not, she found me. I did not know anything about Modern Day Wife, and she reached out to me and said, "We really like your show, and we want to help promote you. You help promote us." And it was a joy getting to know her and know what her mission is and know exactly where her target is and where she wants to go and how she wants to help other women, because it's exactly in line with our mission. So it's been so fun getting to know her and getting to know her organization, because it gives me such comfort that there are other women out there that are thinking like me, that are like, you know what? We need to change the world and we need to change it for us, and we'll do it one woman at a time. And that's exactly what Meagan's doing. And Meagan, I am so appreciative of you starting this business and investing everything you got, your time, your money, your effort, into helping other women be their best.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that beautiful acknowledgement. And right back at you. I mean, going out there, creating this incredible podcast, us talking about collaborating. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's where it starts. It's some person's vision or idea that unfolds into something magical that everyone else can experience. So if you have a great idea or you have an idea, it's always good to put it out there. I'm definitely like a firm believer that, I was talking about this today with someone, but like there's always going to be people that maybe knock you off or take an idea or whatever, right? So you just always keep creating, it's not like about that. It's like, let's just all create more, do good, make it happen, connect people. That's what it's about. So I'm so excited to have got to know you and have many conversations with you, and to be here just on your podcast, sharing what I do with everyone. Thank you so much.
It is my pleasure. Believe me, it is my pleasure. I want to make sure that everybody knows the information about your upcoming event. It is Get in the Know. It is a Sunday brunch. It sounds like a ton of fun. I will be there. I can't wait to do it. And Meagan, will you give us the information on how to register, the date, the time, all of that, so we make sure that we can attend and get and connect with you?
Definitely. So it's Sunday, December 6th from 11 to 3 PST. The virtual marketplace will open 24 hours before the event and close 24 hours after the event. So you can shop for a full 72 hours, which is incredible. So your ticket includes, access to the virtual marketplace, our speaker series, plus a digital workbook and amazing virtual swag. So to get your tickets, you can grab them from themoderndaywife.com, which will lead you to where you purchase. So you just click the button that says click for tickets to our next event. Super simple.
Now, she also is offering some early bird tickets right now. So if you go in and get your tickets now, it is a reduced cost of $24.99. So thank you for that generosity, Meagan. We appreciate that you giving a little extra special to our audience.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Meagan, before I wrap us up, you and I were talking earlier about 2020 and what interesting things 2020 has brought. And I had shared with you that 2020 has been a learning experience. So I wanted to ask you, what have you learned about yourself in 2020 that you might, do you want to leave it here in 2020, or do you want to take it with you in 2021?
Oh, this is such a good question. I'm so glad you asked that. I'm like, thinking. Well, I mean, to be quite frank, 2020 was definitely a very interesting year, but I mean, I think I learned a lot about like perseverance for myself, and that actually gave me more confidence than I feel I've ever had. Just being like really like, okay, I have to be so laser focused, in what I do for work, the collaborations, who I'm hanging out with, what's going on, because you kind of just realize, when something like this happens, you kind of see who your true friends are in life and in business and all of these things, right? So I think it's like, just keep going. Like it really gave me that like fierce fire to outcreate myself in the past. Like there's more sense of urgency. So I honestly, even though it's been a tough year, probably wouldn't trade any of that in. I would keep it.
That, I have said many times on my show that in a lot of ways, 2020 has been a gift for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's all been hard fought. It has not all been fun.
Mm-mm.
Been a lot of pain, but a lot of personal growth. And I don't think I'd change any of it. I really don't. Because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to keep all the amazing things that have come out of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that you've had this experience too. And I think one other thing I want to add is what we were talking about earlier. I used to be so like bent out of shape sometimes if things weren't like perfect or absolutely a certain way, or oh my God, I forgot this. And now I kind of have this attitude like, there is no such thing as absolute perfection. Yes, you can get close, and I still always try for that. So I don't like beat myself up over it, you know? And I think that that's like a really good thing for us to remember. Like, it's totally fine if it's not like the perfect day or like you forgot something. Like, when you're real and just honest, I don't try to cover it up. Now I'm like, yeah, this is what I was doing, or yeah, this is what was happening. Like, there's a lot of, I guess, confidence and just reward in being honest.
I would agree. I mean, give yourself some grace. None of us
Mhm.
are perfect, and we're all just doing the best we can.
Mhm.
So give yourself and give each other some grace. Um, you are a creator. So in 2020, what is the greatest thing you've created?
Hmm. I think there's like two things. I'm like, one is going to be business related and one will be like home. I think online events, that's like the cool. I'm so happy with this because I actually realized today when I was having a conversation with someone, I wanted to always have a talk show. And like, I got that this year without ever having a plan of even doing virtual events. You get what I'm saying? So it's like a
Mhm.
goal that I always had gave me this opportunity to bring into fruition, because of COVID, this thing that was there. So that's really beautiful. And then I think, my other one would be like around relationships. I'm not going to go into this crazy on this show, but just like with my fiance, we've been through a lot of hardships. He's actually had a severe illness. So just really having like, real compassion for someone at their like worst time, and like, I guess, like, how do you say that? Getting into really good communication with your spouse and taking each day as like a new day together and letting go of like the bad days. Because if you are fixated so much like on the past, like it doesn't allow you to recreate like a better future with your partner. So I think I've really created on that and had this like realization. And I think it's a cool one to share because having a beautiful home and relationship, or I don't mean home and like having you have to have all the best designer stuff, but just creating this space for you and your partner is a really cool thing to create.
I, you know what? I'd never thought of it that way. And that is, that is an amazing tip and visual because you're right. It doesn't, and you're not talking about what it looks like. You're talking about what it feels like.
Exactly.
So I love that. I'm going to ask you one last question, and I've been asking this lately, and I'm fascinated by the answers, and it's just eye opening. So, of all the books that you've read,
Mm.
what book do you say that everybody needs to read?
Mm. Hands down, I'm like, this is like the easiest question for me. It's How to Build an Empire by Elena Cardone. She is my number one mentor. If you don't know her, she lives in Florida. She's American. She's amazing. She was an actress before on like, I think she did like different soaps, so people might know her. But her and her husband, they figure things out. They figured out how to work together as a couple. They both are on purpose. They're both creating their own cool projects. She has an amazing community called 10X Ladies because her husband's mission, Grant Cardone, is all about 10X. It's very cool. But she's written this book, How to Build an Empire. How do you fortify with your spouse, yourself? You don't have to be in a relationship to read this book. She gives you all these incredible tools so you can be confident and take action and create an incredible life. So I would say if you want to really have a good read, a real honest, hard-hitting truth book, but with exercises in it that you can apply, get that book like ASAP. It's so good.
I love that. I love that. And I knew that you would have an amazing answer, and you did not disappoint. Meagan, thank you again for being here. Thank you for creating your community, and thank you for, on purpose, helping to support all the small businesses out there, because we need them. And without doing it on purpose, they may not be here next year. So I thank you for being here. I thank you for your work. And I thank you so much for your partnership and your friendship.
Anytime. Thank you for having me. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation.
I enjoyed you being here. I enjoyed all of you. Thank you so much for your time. And we'll see you again next time. That's our show. Thank you all so much for coming. You know that this doesn't get done in a vacuum, so I want to make sure that I recognize and thank each and every one that contributes to the success of this show. Number one, our guests. Your willingness to be vulnerable and authentic continues to blow me away, and I cannot thank you enough. Second, my audience. You guys are amazing. When I put out the call for your help, you always respond. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I hope we continue to earn your time. Producing this show every single week is a true joy and pleasure, but it is definitely not done singularly. I have an entire team that is helping me produce this and publish this for you. Savannah Boster manages our social media. Alan Bruckner is our creative artist. Star Diva is the composer of our music. Jessica Fechner is our operations. Tisha Lucero is our people person. Tina Lindsay is our marketing person. And Gavin Egan, who helped start it all. Thank you all so much for coming, and we'll see you again next time.
This is just the beginning.
That's our show. I am so grateful for each and every one of you and your unwavering support and your continued belief in this movement that has become much bigger than me, much bigger than just a podcast. It has become this forward momentum that we are all doing together. If you are ready, or you know somebody that is ready to tell your story and share your value with the world, please connect with me. You can reach me at audra@womeninthearena.net. I am so honored and thankful that you will share your story with me, and I'll make sure that it is well taken care of. I will never stop thanking each and every one of you, and I cannot wait to talk to you again next week as we share another woman's story and we celebrate her doing extraordinary things in plain sight. We'll see you next time.